Hello, Unity family. We are so excited about this consecration and all that the Lord is going to do as we turn to Him, focus on Him, and seek Him with our whole heart. So what we wanted to do is each week just highlight a few things about the consecration, what's happening that week, just so we can all be on the same page and all fully lean in and take advantage of what the Lord wants to do through this time of seeking Him. As we sought the Lord, what we feel like He gave us was a progression, a journey for this consecration. You know, there's a lot to do. There's a lot that the Lord wants to accomplish and teach us and do in us and through us. But as we sought Him again about the state of our congregation and our people, really felt like that as we are, if we didn't allow God to first draw us closer, pour into us, and build us up, that we may not be fully able to embrace and step into the things that He wants to teach us and the things that He wants to do in our congregation and in us. And even with the best of intentions, we may not be able to endure as we step into the things that He has for us to do. So what you'll see even in the consecration and the different weeks is this progression where this week what we're going to do is fully lean into seeking God without any striving. Then we'll step into allowing Him to speak to us and build us up. And then finally we'll allow Him to prepare us and make us into people who are on fire for Him. So let's talk about week one. You know, in Luke 10, we see Jesus talking to Martha. She had a lot going on, a lot to accomplish, a lot of valid things to do. What does He say to her? He says, "You are worried and anxious and bothered about many things. You have a lot to do, but only one thing is necessary. Only one thing is really what it takes to even do those things well." And He said, it is the better part, the good portion, the main course. What is that main course? What is that better part? What is the necessary thing for us? Simply being with Jesus at His feet, ready to hear His word and responsive to His presence. Isn't that what we want? That's what we're going to do this week. We're going to give ourselves to drawing near to God. You know, a lot of times when we go into times of fasting and consecration, there's this anxious preparation and it's a gear up for the fast. You know, I can't eat this. I'm going to try to step up spiritually. I'm going to live fully. But what we felt like the Lord was saying this time is like, hey, wait a minute. Just quiet all that for a second. Before we even get into any of that, just come near. Just come close. Come to me. And you'll see that in week one. There's no dietary guidelines or anything like that. All we'll be focused on is drawing near to God. Not trying to be better, not working to be better, not forcing ourselves to do anything other than posturing our hearts to be near Him. So what you'll see is we're going to turn down and turn away electronics and entertainment. As much as we are able, we're going to push back against the things that are fighting for our attention and our affection. The things we've turned to for peace and for relief and for refreshing instead of God's presence, we're going to turn those things aside in order to turn our hearts to Him fully. And I want you to see this the right way. Don't see it as a restriction, but see it as a desire to be free from the things that we're thoughtlessly relying on, the things that we've put in the place of His word, of His presence, of really seeking Him. Also make sure that whatever we consume is building us and creating in us what it takes to continue to stay close to Him. So there's other books and other preaching and teaching that we can access, other podcasts other than the normal podcasts that we kind of listen to. What we want to do is kill all the extra noise. Replace some of those things with things that are truly, truly feeding us. So I was in Mark 4 this week and I was seeing how the parable of the sower really fits in with what we're doing. This first week, we want to make sure that we aren't receiving seed that's going on rocky soil, that just because it started to get some roots and started to sprout a little bit, that we're not satisfied. So what I encourage you to do is allow the roots of intimacy and a robust relationship with God, allow those things to go deep. I want you to rebuild your norms and your defaults to the point that this new level of intimacy and these new patterns and habits that we build become our new floor, become our norm, become the context for how we operate in our walk with God. So don't be satisfied with shallow roots. Be satisfied with roots so deep that even long after this consecration, that the fruit that it bears remains and it can't be pulled up. Also, I just want to let you know that you can get all of the information about the consecration, including scriptures. There's scriptures for each week that lean into the focus for that week. Specifically here in week one, I want you to look at the scriptures and slow down. Use this time to slow your heart down, to quiet your heart. So again, if you want all of the information, remember, you can get it at ucjc.org/consecration. We're so excited about what God is going to do. That all week, the elders have been praying for you. We're not doing this just as a religious exercise, but we have expectation that God's going to do great things through this time of consecration, so that when we come out, we're ready to be kindling, as it were, ready to take the spark and ready to burn and spread and burn brightly and burn hot for God in a way that impacts everything around us. Are you excited? I know we are. Let's press into what God has for this consecration. God bless you.